What's up, traders? Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. I'll put my glasses on because the sun is going to come out. Beautiful blue skies. When we first got here, it wasn't blue at all. We're in the Perito Moreno Glacier in Patagonia, which is our southern Argentina. If you guys don't know where that's at, in the middle of literally nowhere in the deep, deep, deep south. So first question I have here is from Nabil. Nabil, I hope I'm not butchering your name. It's Nabil.
Como day trader, você aconselha se concentrar em apenas instrumento, como esse? E quais são os melhores mercados de futuros para day trade fora esse?
So, Nabil, I think it's very important to understand the process of learning how to do anything, right? If you're going to learning how to trade is something that's extremely difficult, and it's the hardest way to make money the easy way, put it that way. So you have to understand that in order to learn how to trade, it's a lot more than just learning a strategy. It's a lot more about psychology than strategy or a technical anything, right? Whether it's charts or lines or whatever. So when you are going to learn how to trade, one of the things that we have to do in order to have a high degree of success is make sure that we're going to simplify the process in order to make sure that we have the best probability of success. I know I kind of said the word 2 or 3 times there, but I think you get my drift. So whenever it's been scientifically proven that whenever we try to do 2 or 3 things at once, that we don't do anything well. So if you're going to learn how to trade, I would highly recommend that you only learn on one market, whatever market that is. That's part of the reason why, even though I teach people how to day trade futures, I recommend futures for that reason, because you can simplify the process of learning how to do this, so you can focus on the right things rather than on the wrong things. So if you're trading futures, for example, you can just look at one chart and just trade the same market every single day so you can master it. Whereas if you trade something like stocks, for example, you have to every day find the stocks, you have to screen them, then you have to go and look for different stocks and trade them. Same thing with Forex, right? You have to watch 8 different markets with a ton of indicators and then 20 different graphs. If you're looking at minute charts, it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, it's complicated. So I would recommend you do stocks or futures to start off. I would recommend futures because I think it's one of the best markets to trade, if not the best. Obviously, there's markets that are bigger like Forex, which for me is more for institutional traders rather than retail traders, which are people that are a bit poorer like you and I, Nabil. So I would highly recommend only doing one market at a time, and then when you master that market or you learn how to trade in that one market, then you can start to look at other markets. Now, in terms of your second question, in terms of what other markets are good to trade, there's a ton of different markets to trade when it comes to futures. I don't necessarily think that there's one better than the other, because I think it depends on the timing. So I remember, I believe it was 2 years ago maybe, or a year and a half ago, I was watching natural gas a lot because natural gas was moving very well. Well, eventually natural gas got to the point where it was really range bound and it wasn't really moving that well, so I stopped watching natural gas. Now, for example, I'd call myself more of a swing trader now, or more of an investor, since I'm holding positions more longer term because of all the responsibilities I have, not only at the Day Trading Academy, but also other projects that I have in Colombia. The thing that I'm doing now is watching silver, right? I trade, or I invest, whatever you want to call it, swing trade, in silver mining stocks based on the price of silver. Some of them are longer term, some of them are shorter term. It just depends on the market. So it depends on the timing. I teach everybody on the S&P 500 because I think it's the most liquid market to learn on. It's the most traded market that professional traders trade on. Biggest market, number of traders, right? You know, there might be bigger traders or people who put bigger positions in market like gold and oil, but the majority of traders, especially retail traders, which are, you know, just normal guys like you and I, Nabil, is they trade the S&P 500. So any market I think is tradable, even the other indices. but I just have found over time with trial and error that the S&P 500 is the best market or one of the best markets to trade, based on the fact that the majority of the time it moves really well. When it doesn't move well, you can practice your discipline, right, of not getting quote unquote into the market when you shouldn't and things like that. So highly recommend you trade one market to start. Once you master the market or you really learn how to trade and you have the consistency, then at that point you can actually decide to trade other markets. And then obviously that's when you become what I consider kind of a master trader, where you are able or you have the capacity to actually learn and trade consistently in more than one market, because you can read the market pretty quickly, right? You have to build the capacity of reading charts, so to speak, right? You have to have the not emotional intelligence, that's something that I asked in the previous question, but the capacity to process information in a certain period of time. Trading is really tiring. And when you really trade the way that you're supposed to and you learn the way that you're supposed to, what happens is you get really tired very fast because you're not able to process that amount of information in a certain period of time. Once you learn how to process that information, then you can literally do 2 things at once or 3 things at once, which means basically watching other markets. So that's what I would recommend, Nabil. That's what I would definitely recommend. If you have any other questions, don't forget to mark them with Ask Marcello, hashtag Ask Marcello. And obviously, as always, ask me whatever you want. I'll be happy to answer it. I'm glad you guys have liked these videos so far. I'll make sure to continue doing them. We're a bit lost here in the middle of Patagonia, but I'll make sure to continue answering those questions for you guys. We'll see you soon. Ciao.